Morning, guys. We're here. It's about, I forgot my watch today. It's about 7:45. I was thinking about watching this thing last night, and then I fell asleep on the couch watching a documentary on Osama bin Laden. So I decided to wake up early and do this before coming to the gym. I should probably change these wiper blades out. There's a couple things I'm going to do to this car before it goes back to my friend for the summer. It's been here for the past, 7 to 8 months, being the shop mascot. The wheels have got repainted. Some of you who've been following may remember that these wheels were gold, like a bronzish gold. Now they are called dark hyper gray, dark hyper silver, I think they call it. Basically, it's like a grayish black. So I've been getting a lot of compliments on the wheels, but I haven't even gotten a chance to clean the tires yet after they were mounted and balanced. And the wheel companies that paint the wheels, refinish the wheels, they do a crap job at cleaning anything. So you get it back, it's a good paint job, but it's just all dirty. So we're gonna address that today. I'll go to the store after I wash it, get some new wiper blades. There's a belt that has to get replaced, so I'm going to take it to the mechanics quick, get that taken care of probably at the end of this week. I'm going to recoat the windshield because the coating is about 2 years old and it's gotten its wear and tear, so it's time for me to revamp it. I won't really have to strip it down. I'll just use the same coating I did, so I'll basically just be putting a top layer on it. So that'll be pretty easy. I'll do that within the next couple days. But today you're gonna watch me wash this thing. So I'll take you through the whole wash process, step by step. What my wash process is like when I'm working by myself, because it's a different process when I'm working with the crew. When I'm by myself, I like to chill, take it easy, one step at a time. Don't rush anything. It's climate controlled in here, so soap doesn't dry up on me. I have time to go through the process nice and at my pace. So let's do that. First, take a sip of coffee. Second, we're going to get our pressure washer all set up. As many of you know, this is a custom pressure washer setup by Obsessed Garage. Everything just back over here is from Obsessed Garage, with the exception of this little shelf where my foam cannons are. That's an Amazon guy. This gun is probably about a year old. I had the non-Obsessed Garage branded one. It was just a Mosmatic branded one. And that lasted a really long time. But, it gets used at a commercial level, so it gets dropped and dinged and scratched. So I replaced it about a year ago. That thing's still working great. The only thing that's faulty over here right now, because when you're working with pressurized water, there's 9 times out of 10 always going to be some small little issue. Right now I'm having an issue with the Cox reel swivel over here where my water feeds from the pressure washer. Not to the pressure washer, but from the pressure washer into my hose. So every once in a while this swivel, I've already had it rebuilt once. It's a common thing no matter what reel you buy. Cox reel is the best reel in the world and still has that flaw because it's constantly spinning and the gears just wear out over time. I like to start with the wheels, but I think I'm going to go a little out of pace right now, just because this car is so dirty. It's been sitting outside. So I'm going to do a pre-wash first, then rinse it, and then I'll do the wheels. The wheels I drove this car twice, so the wheels aren't dirty. I'm just going to clean the faces and really make sure that I spend a good amount of time on the tires. Because I want to clean the tires real good, I'm going to start with spraying wheel cleaner on the tires. This wheel cleaner is made by Gliptone. Very, very similar to PS's Brake Buster. I've used that. I've used the local guys. I like to support the local guys, so this is what I've been carrying lately, but I flip-flop back and forth. These are in the Press-All Pro Series bottles. I've had nothing but success with these bottles so far, and it's been almost 2 weeks. This is by far the strongest product as far as abrasion to the tips and the internals, and this thing still sprays like a dream. So I'm very pleased with these. We'll see how they stand over the test of time, but I assume that they're going to do pretty damn good. You can even hear it. It's like this. The product is begging to come out of this bottle. Like it just wants to get sprayed out. This product is begging to get the feel of the stainless tip. Alright, so that confirms I got another problem. Right now the air compressor's going. It's now 7:51. I've yet to use air today. This, if anybody knows why these Prevo S1 Eurospec fittings leak, please let me know, because I bought this thing like 3 months ago. And it's already leaking. I don't know if there's like some gasket that has to get replaced or what, but as many of you know, they're not cheap, and they're supposed to last a really long time, and they are phenomenal. They work great, but I don't know why. I don't know why it has a leak. This is a high pH soap that I'm going to use as my pre-wash. Typically I like to use Built Hammer Touchless, but that should be arriving tomorrow because I had poor planning and ordered my order of Built Hammer Touchless right before I ran out. So we've been a couple days without Touchless, and it kind of sucks because Touchless is great. But because we have all different types of services here, I have so many different products for different services. So the higher end services will get the higher end products, and the lower end services will get the mid-range products. I'm not going to call them low end products because I don't carry any low end products here. They're all very good and they're all above average. But for an advanced, that's $100 less than a pro service detail. I'm not going to use my super expensive products that deserve to be used on the pro service when we're doing an advance. So that's why I have this soap and this whole thing now, and I'm never out of something. I may have to substitute it temporarily, but I'm never out. So I've been in this spot for about a year and a half now. And to be honest with you, I don't spend all day every day in this wash bay like some of the guys that work here do. A lot of my time is being spent either in the clean bay, working on a higher end job like coding or PPF or something, or specialty service, something along those lines, or at the desk, or even out doing deals, because that's a lot of my job here nowadays too. So my bucket's a lot like this as well. So I've gotten very used to washing cars in here. I have my system pretty dialed in. But there's definitely times where, you know, I'm like still figuring stuff out, still teaching myself new tricks, still learning every day. Because if you're not learning every day and you're not enjoying the process and you're dreading doing the work, you're probably not doing the right thing. Fortunately, I can speak for myself, and I feel as though I can speak on behalf of all of my boys that work here. We all get up and love coming to work every day. And that's the environment that we've all built together. So I'm very grateful for all of this. I'm grateful for all the people that work here, and I'm grateful for all the clients. And most importantly, I'm grateful for all the cars. Because without cool cars, this place wouldn't be that cool. And because I'm the guy buying all the soaps, when I am washing a car, especially by myself, I'm just gonna use mad soap. Use way more soap than the suggested amount because I'm buying it, so who cares? It makes my job more fun. Man, you can see these tires are dirty. That wheel cleaner did its job well. Alright. Now let's rinse her off. I got the 45-degree tip on this one. That's my go-to. I feel like I could move the water the best. This car got a 3-year coating about 2 years ago. So I know I've done a maintenance polish on it before, and I can see that parts of the panels on the top, the sides are beating off nice, but I can see like the top, it seems like the top panels are getting clogged a little bit. The coating is getting clogged, it's not beating up perfectly. So with that being said, I'm going to do an extra step of ironing here. Take some of the particles out through a decontamination process. That will help clear up the coating slightly. And after I rinse this off, I'll assess what it does and take it from there. If I need to do some more steps, I will. I'll put a booster spray of FenLab on this. It doesn't match the brand of the coating, but FenLab's hybrid ceramic detail spray is, no joke, probably stronger than this coating is. So that'll help this coating out a little bit for at least another half a year.
What is that?
This stuff that I'm spraying right now,
Yeah, what is that?
this stuff that I'm spraying is iron eater.
Okay.
So it's gonna remove all the iron particles. This is the stuff that everyone says smells like weed. I think it smells like rotten eggs. Like I said, I'm just gonna lightly foam these wheels, scrub the tires, hit the faces quick. And then move on to finishing up the paint. Recently I've hired a business coach. Not a life coach, but a business coach. So those who know me, those who don't, I'll inform you. Those who know me already know, but I was a barber for close to 10 years. So I was able to network with a lot of people, tell people about this business, tell people about the brand. I had a lawn care business as well. So this time last year I was cutting hair full time, 5 days a week, 50 hours a week. I was here 7 days a week for anywhere from 5 to 8 hours a day on the days that I was at the barbershop, and the days that I wasn't at the barbershop, I would be here all day long. So I had a busy schedule, and I made it work, and I feel as though I did a good job at making it work, but I just felt like I wasn't able to be fully invested into this business and my brand. Because I was a barber, like I said, I was able to network a lot, send business this way, and it worked out great for a long time. But now I've retired from cutting hair, and now I'm just full-time in my business, and I feel great about it. So I just want to hyper-focus on building this place and turning this place into, my future. So really it comes down to doing it one day at a time, one step at a time. It's a constant roller coaster as a business owner, but I love it. I'm happy I'm doing it. I wouldn't want to do anything else. And I'm addicted to the grind, the everyday hustle. So I hired a business coach. He is a friend of mine who I've known through cars for not too long, but him and I, we're very similar. He's a bit older than me. He's in his early 40s, so he's got a lot of life experience. He's been in business for about 10 years for himself, and he's in construction. So he's been he's been in the working field for 20 plus years, but owning his own business for over 10, and he's got quite a successful business. So I've been constantly, I wanted him to be my business coach before I was done at the barbershop, but our schedules didn't quite line up. So now I'm a little bit more flexible in the middle of the day at the end of the week to meet up at his office and just chat about ideas, chat about what's going on in my business, chat about what's going on in his business. And sometimes the truth hurts, but at the end of the day, it's super beneficial. So I go in there into his office, chat with him. He gives me tons of ideas. I always leave there feeling like $1 million, but during the conversation, as one should, you gotta understand that your craft isn't always perfect. What you're doing, although it may seem like it's working, it may not be sustainable. So I want to have the knowledge before any serious errors come about, because That's what business is. Business is really just a game. So having key knowledge from someone who's been in the game for substantially longer than me is very beneficial. And I feel like it helps me out a lot. I'd say about 3 months ago, I subscribed, maybe a little more than 3 months, but around that time I subscribed to the Accessorized Inside the Hex YouTube channel. I think it's like 10 or 12 bucks a month. And it's conversations with Matt and other people that either help run operations with the Accessorized team or are on the business partners to him. Those guys get together, they meet up, they do a podcast. Matt's always doing podcasts with different people, but doing podcasts about business, learning business, talking business, and it gets into, because it's a paid subscriber only channel, you get to know the nitty gritty about some of the stuff and what it really is behind the camera. So hearing a successful brand that I look up to have struggles and issues that are day-to-day problems, such as what happens in this business, such as what happens in any other business really. It's reassuring, but it's reassuring to know that I'm not the only one, but it's also good to hear how the problems are solved and what certain things are used for, and it's just, it's very powerful information. So I guess you could say I'm on this path of having discipline, whether it's eating healthier, going to the gym, going to bed earlier, waking up earlier, to get better for myself. And then if myself is better, that affects all the people that are around me in this brand to get better and rise to the next level. But it's not always about what shows, it's about what's going on behind the scenes for the owner, like myself. So getting that knowledge from these different resources, whether it's my business coach or whether it's from some type of podcast or some type of YouTube or even a documentary on Netflix or whatever about business, have you maybe, each little step, each little learning stone every single day is just eventually going to benefit me over time. The little things compound over time, and then by the time I'm, 7 years from now, I'll be in my 30s. I know I'm young, but in 7 years, when I'm 30, hopefully, based on the 7 years of compounding knowledge, I'll be 10 years ahead of what the common 30-year-old is in business. So that's my goal. It's just getting better every single day, so that way, when I'm 30, things will be where I want it to be, where I envision it to be. I got my buckets all set up. Add a little bit more soap in here.
My favorite part.
This is Christian's favorite part?
Everyone's favorite part.
Get this rig washed.
Washed.
It's like the guys that say storts.
Stewart or
Storts?
what's the other one? Milk.
Milk.
Glass of milk.
M-E-L-K. Milk.
I went to Storts and got me a jug of milk.
A jug. Alright. I'm gonna go work out after this. Got the guys coming in a little early today, so we can stay on schedule because we had a little bit of overbooking today. Not necessarily like online overbooking, but what happened is a good client of ours came back from Florida. He spent all winter in Florida, and he stopped in last week. He knows me and Lucas real well, and he's like, asking us what's new on our menu, what we've been cooking up lately, and we were talking about cars and bids and bring a trailer, and I was talking about how my cousin Jake's Audi was currently on cars and bids. Last week it sold, so we had prepped that, and I think when he came in that night, I was also shooting. I have a C5 Corvette in the lot that got a photo shoot, got a detail, a light polish, and a photo shoot for Bring a Trip. So he saw the two cars in the lot, and he was like, "Oh, I got a some special edition Mustang Shelby that he was trying to sell." Because I think he said he got 13 cars, and he's trying to get rid of a couple to get a couple more type of deal. So, he asked about selling the Shelby. And I was like, yeah, we can do that. And he was like, well, here's the thing, I want it done as soon as possible. I was like, all right, bring it in next week. So here we are a week later, and he's bringing it today. So we have to make sure that car gets a full detail, full pro service detail today, on top of a couple other pro services that we have, because tonight the cameraman is coming. There was no other day that Scott could come and shoot the car besides today. So that's why we don't really have too much of a jam, but we just have a real busy, packed, tight day. So there's no margin of error today. We gotta be on point. I wanted to wash this thing because it was definitely due, and I wanted to get together with Christian on the early morning side and get this video up and rolling. So far we're on pace, but I was saying I'm gonna go to the gym while these guys do their first car of the day, because I don't need to really be around for that thing. They'll be able to handle that.
What's the first one today?
That Honda Ridgeline that's behind us. That's part of the reason that I'm going to the gym, because I don't want to work on a Honda Ridgeline.
Hey, my dad just got one of those.
That's what he got, right? He traded in the Alpha for a Honda Ridgeline?
Terrible decision.
Yeah, but I bet his Honda Ridgeline isn't from 2001.
It's a 2025 Black Edition,
Right.
but still.
His mirror has horrible clear coat failure.
Is it a
And he
mirror?
bought-
Or is it a mirror or a mirror?
Mirror. Yo, mirror real quick. Mirror real quick.
Mirror.
Sorry, come here.
Mirror, I'm coming.
Go spray my towel. This thing isn't leaving any streaks, which is nice. It's just wiping off, easy. Getting any of the last little bit of water that may be left on. even with a freshly coated car, after blow drying it off, I like to just wipe it down one more time, just to make sure it's mint. This car is old. It's a 2013, so it's 12 years old with 100,000 miles. So trying to chase perfection is something that I'm constantly doing, but it's a battle when you're working with a car like this that is well maintained, but you just have to understand that it's not going to be perfect. This is all original paint with the exception of the rear bumper. It's the only thing that has been sprayed on this car. And unfortunately, it was not a good paint job on the rear bumper compared to factory BMW paint, which is very good in my opinion. I replaced the grille not too long ago to black. This bumper, this car was in a very minor accident. It was a probably pretty solid fender bender, but I had my PDR guy come and fix the front as best as he could because there was a real good crease in the hood. So he fixed that as best as he could. There's a tiny little line, but this whole thing was bent in. So with what we're working with, it's a lot better. This isn't a low mileage, super, super perfect BMW. This is a driver's BMW. You buy this for the experience of the manual BMW from the mid-2000s. The N55 engine that's more reliable than the N54. Although it boasts less horsepower, it's more reliable. It's still got 300 and, you guys, some of you guys might know better than me. My guess, my educated guess on this motor is probably about 330, 340 horsepower. If somebody asked me, that would be my answer. Now you guys can tell me otherwise in the comments below if I'm way wrong, but I really don't think I'm super far off. This car is completely stock. There's no tune, nothing crazy on it. This thing looks a lot better though. It was in rough shape before it came in this morning. Feel a lot happier about this car now. Probably gonna drive this thing to the gym. Let it get a little bit more road time. I got the rear bumper, this side of the roof. And then I'm going to wipe down the door jambs and it should be all set. I've been using the same side and this towel is really dry. And I haven't even touched that, which means I did a pretty good job drying, and I wouldn't have done a good job drying if it wasn't for me spraying the Fen Lab in the rinsing process. Because as you could see before, it was flooding pretty good.
trainer has in store for me.
for the gym today. If I was to take a guess, today is going to be an upper body day. I hope. I like doing upper body. Not a huge, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not a huge lower body guy. Not big on leg day. But you gotta do it. It's a necessity. This windshield is shot. It's got some good wiper blade scratches. And I've yet to find a dude that cuts glass. Cuts glass and buffs it. If anyone out there knows a guy who's local in the Hudson Valley area, or really anywhere in New York for that matter, with the exception of like Buffalo, hook me up with him, because there's definitely some windshields out there that I know need to get cut. Shoot, even my Raptor, my side glass, it's not even my windshield, it's the side glass. There must have been a sticker on it from the dealership, from, I don't know if it was brand new or what, and someone took a razor blade and scratched the crap out of my glass. And I didn't see it when I bought the car, because I bought the car and it was raining. I didn't test drive the car, I only saw it once, so, I kind of got what I got and fixed it from there. No negotiations at the dealer. The dealership was a no negotiations dealer, so I walked in there and I said, all right, let's talk about the price on this truck. And he was like, well, there's not much to talk about. The price is what it is. And I was like, all right, that's funny, I get it, I gave you my license, I'm only 23 years old, you wanna get one up on the young kid, right? And he was like, no, seriously, like, we don't negotiate at this dealership. You got a trade-in, we can negotiate the trade-in, but as far as our list price on that vehicle, they claimed that, and it was true, they claimed that they list the price 3% under market value, and they don't move the price. I had never went to a dealership and experienced that before. So I was able to negotiate the trade by like a couple $1,000, which wasn't much. And that essentially was my down payment, because I traded in a vehicle I didn't know on. I owned outright. So that's what my situation was. I bought the truck for the list price. I got a warranty on it, and I traded in another truck. I had a Silverado, and I felt like I got a good deal on the Raptor, but I wasn't stoked on the no negotiations part. I called two people. My one buddy who owns a handful of cars, but I know has bought dozens and dozens of cars. And he had said to me, I've been in that situation before, where you go to a dealership and there are no negotiation. And you just have to basically be the judge of if you think it's worth it or not. And based on all the research, at the end of the day, I think what convinced myself is I drove 2.5 hours to buy this truck that I had never seen. only saw online. But the reason that I drove there is because it was a damn good deal. So I had already told myself that it was a good deal, and I'm gonna go and get an even better deal on it. Turns out I didn't get a better deal on it, but you can tell the detailers have been driving this car lately. It's got towels all in it. Our towels. So long story short, on the Raptor, like I said, I convinced myself to drive the 2.5 hours in the middle of the week to go buy this thing and hopefully get an even better deal on it. So that kind of made me realize, you know, all right, maybe it is a good deal. Maybe they're right. There's no need to negotiate. If I would have known that going in, I maybe would have sped the process up a little bit, because it still took so dang long. But it was worth it. I'm happy with the truck. The truck's been great. I plan on trading it in, and I am going to get back into the BMW game. What that BMW is, I'm not going to tell you yet, because I still have to find the right one. I know exactly what I'm looking for. And I'll save what it is for the next video. So this car is all wrapped up. I'm gonna wipe the tires down just to get them dry. Other than that, off to the gym I go. So thanks for hanging with me today. Thanks for coming through the process of me washing this 335. I love this color. I think the wheels look better being darker and not gold anymore. And this paint feels a lot better. So I think we achieved the mission today. So thanks for hanging. We'll see you guys next time.
Great success.